You see, but Noah had a connection with God. So Noah followed instruction from God. And he knew what he was doing. People were laughing. Bright people were laughing. Religious people were laughing. But Noah had he was a spiritual man. He had a connection with God. So therefore, that is the same in the Bible. The things that are in the Bible does not sound logical to the normal mind. It takes a spiritual understanding to grasp a lot of what goes on in the Bible. And as I mentioned, so John, I'm saying to you, yes, people feel good about religion. They have something to hold on to and everything. But religion does not always lead man to a spiritual and moral development. In fact, it gives them a kind of arrogance that make them feel that they are cut above the rest. They believe that the religion is better, it supersedes. They find an argument about it. You don't hold this law, we don't do this, or we don't do that. They argue, we don't keep Sabbath, and who keeps Sunday worship? And who doing the wrong thing because you worship on a Sunday or Saturday? That is what religion do to people. So I just want to make that point before we get into to the emails. And let's probably see what those emails. If you have any, could you have a look?
Okay, all right. We'll read the email, but just let me reply to what you said. Just let me rebut to that. You know that you are agreeing with me and at the same time hoping that you could disagree. George, did I not go through the conflict theory? That is exactly what you are talking about, the conflict theory. You are looking at one side of the same coin. But there are two sides, George. That's all I'm saying. You said it does not make people, how do you know who it does what to? What gives you the right to decide? Okay, take the same Nicodemus. Did he learn anything from Jesus at all? When he came there, he could not, he could not understand what Jesus was saying. When Jesus had explained it to him, did he then understand?
He certainly did. He certainly did understand.
He understood that, didn't he?
Yes, because he did not understand. And that's why he went, because he did not understand.
He did not understand at first. Because he questioned, how could I be born again? How could I enter my mother's womb again? And Jesus explained it to him, and he grabbed what he was saying then. You would not be able to come as a young boy, go to primary school, and come out and tell me about Pythagoras. What you know about it? But when you're taught, you understand it. And I am saying that there are certain things in religion that are certainly not logical. It doesn't make sense. But there are those aspects of it, and there are those people who follow it, and it means the world to them. It does not have to mean it to you. And George, one of the things cardinal mistake you are making is that you are measuring other people by your own yardstick. Don't you do that? You have no authority. George, you have no authority.
I disagree. I don't ever do that. I do that on the basis of evidence presented to me, and I will list examples. I don't ever go with personal views. Personal view does not allow you to be objective and does not allow you to go with accurate knowledge of things. You go according to your own narrow-minded and your own dogma and concept that you have. And I try to stay away from personal views, John, all the time.
Just a minute, George. I have worked in hospital as a trained nurse. I have been at many a deathbed. I have seen people who went to their long home peacefully because they believed and accepted, I am going home. This is just a portal through which I'm passing to go to my long home. They don't even know if that is true, but they have developed the faith, and their religious background and whatever has helped them to cross the proverbial Jordan. And I'm saying that if that has happened to some, it is worth it. It is worth it. So when you tell me that religion keeps a man down, I am not denying that in some cases, but there are some cases that it is that lifeboat that takes you across the raging sea of death for some.
Okay.
And if one person is made comfortable with a palliative passing because of their religious acceptance, it is worth it. Let's read the emails.
Let's get into the emails.
Okay, we have our emails thing now. We look now at what our listeners are saying, and we have we have our dear friend Linda, and Linda says, culture is the way of life of a people. Religion is a subset of cultures. Therefore, humanity needs religion. Some people need religion to govern their lives. For instance, religion has moral and ethical values that keep unity among human beings. Let me read that one more time, and this is coming from our dear friend Linda. And Linda says that culture is the way of life of a people. Religion is a subject of culture, a subset of culture, and therefore humanity needs religion. Some people need religion to govern their lives. For instance, religions have morals and ethical values that keep unity among humans. You want to react to that, George?
Except to say, Linda, that religion does that. And however, religion do a lot more than that. And I'm saying to you, while religion do that, religion also leads to the destruction of a lot of, in fact, due to the destruction of humanity in many ways. And I say to you, Linda, something, if you look at religion, the evidence of religion, the negatives outweigh the positives.
Okay. Let's see, we now have another email, and this comes from our dear friend Monkey Apple. And Monkey Apple says, religion is a tool for confusion. It is created by man for the destruction of man. It represents mental slavery. People preach their lives out to convert someone to their religion just so they can get their money. And religion is a shield used to conceal the true intentions of an individual. Think about this. A religious man can also be a con man. Let's read that one more time. Monkey Apple thinks that religion is a tool for confusion. It is created by man for the destruction of man. It represents a mental slavery. People preach their lives out to convert someone to their religion just so they can get their money. Religion is a shield used to conceal the true intentions of an individual. Think about this. A religious man can also be a con man. Your comments, George?
I'll put it in a nutshell, but there's so much that I could say to that email, that a well-educated religious man without a sound spiritual background is nothing but a clever devil. And that means that I am agreeing with Monkey Apple in many, many ways. Religions are like politics. Some of them behave like political parties. Only
I don't think that I have met you at right angles there, because I said it's two sides to the same coin. I pointed out to you already that we need water on this planet Earth, else we will die. We need water for botanical as well as biological life. We need water. That same water, by way of a tsunami, can drown you and a whole neighborhood can perish. So where are we? Are we saying then that God produced rain and water to kill people? And that's what we are saying?
Certainly not. Certainly not.
Then what are you saying? So religion just...
You make some analogies that does not in sync with what I am saying. That those analogies will give the wrong impression of my opinion and my views. It will give the wrong opinion that the views that presents itself to me from the information that I have. Those analogies are not accurate and really out of terms with the views that are presented here tonight.
George, listen to me. I am talking tonight about religion. Religion. And I am saying that just as you can take a razor and shave your face and enhance your features, you can cut your jugular vein. It is the same razor. So what I'm saying is, you can't tell me that a razor, you should not have a razor. It was created to kill people. People use a razor to enhance their features as well. And it does that job beautifully. It all depends on who is using it and for what purpose. But I am talking about religion now. I'm not talking about the way some people use it. I am talking about religion. Mine is religion per se, not the way people use religion. Religion. And I am saying that there's nothing wrong with religion. It all depends on who is using it and for what purpose. That is what I'm saying.
Well, we agree on that. We agree on that because
that is what I tell you from when we started, George. I told you this is one time that we are running down, even if not the same lane, we are running down parallel lanes. But you're making it sound as if we are meeting each other at right angles, and it isn't that.
So your views is that once you don't use religion for your own selfish gain
there's nothing wrong with it. It is a necessity. It is a cementing agent that keeps people together, a sense of belonging. And we need to be, unity is strength. It all depends on what you're using it for.
No, there's no unity in religion. There's no unity. With that.
Look, religion can be used as a cementing agency.
But it has not. It can be used, but from the evidence presented us throughout this world, we have not seen that religion has been abused and used in the wrong way, and that is why I say, in many ways, we can do without religion because man has used religion to keep people in slavery.
What would you put if you didn't have it? How would you unite people? They would just
you can unite once a person is spiritually developed, has a spiritual understanding of this world and how things going. Religion, you can do without religion. I know you're disagreeing with me here because you say we can't do without religion. Religion has done more harm than good, and it's causing too much of the and problems in the world today. And if religion is responsible for 90% of the problems in the world today, how can you say that religion is essential to mankind or humanity?
Okay, George. Just answer me this question before you read the next email. Religion, we could do without religion. If you're spiritually what?
Spiritually inclined, spiritually developed, have a spiritual understanding.
Good, okay. Let me ask you one question. Just as I gave you a definition, a working definition for religion, give me one for spiritual development. Something that makes sense.
Yes, and that is what I did. I did that first when I outlined the situation with Nicodemus. And now you hear, and I'll come back to you asking me to give you a spiritual definition that makes sense. Let me tell you something. I can do that, but I'll tell you something. Spiritual definition to the natural mind does not make sense.
Okay, all right. Hold on. Let me read this other email. And this one is from Tara. Thank you, Tara, for calling. Religion is a double-edged sword. It can be used both for good and evil. There is no true religion or spirituality without kindness and love. Swami Brahmanda. I suppose that is the origin, that is the reference. Essentially, religion is designed to be our spiritual source of comfort and advice, a structure to provide moral guidelines, a caring community, and help for those in need. And in many ways, it is. But religion is also the cause of violence, wars, discrimination, bigotry, pain, and suffering, all of which are a long way from kindness, compassion, comfort, and spiritual reassurances. Let me read that one more time. Religion is a double-edged sword. It can be used both for good and evil. There is no true religion or spirituality without kindness and love. And the authority here is Swami Brahmananda. Essentially, religion is designed to be our spiritual source of comfort and advice, a structure to provide moral guidelines, a caring community, and help for those in need. And in many ways, it is. But religion is also the cause of violence, wars, discrimination, bigotry, pain, and suffering, all of which are a long way from kindness, compassion, comfort, and spiritual reassurance. You want to comment on that?
Yes, I will. I have not disagreed with that. And she just quoted someone, yeah. That is what religion was meant to be. That I'm saying to you that the negativity, all of the things that the negativity come out from religion, and what I see religion has done to this world. And this is not a personal view, and I said what I have seen religions have done to this world by the evidence presented to me, all the problems in this world. I believe that the negatives of religion outweighs the positives. So therefore, in many instances, religion has not achieved what it set out to achieve. So if you introduce some new plans in your company, and those plans did not set out to achieve what it was intended to, I think you will scrap those plans. It is only natural that you do. And that is how I will respond to it.
You got to remember that it does work in some instances. It is not totally useless. You behave as if it has failed completely, and it has not. I agree. Like I tell you, like the water. Water is there for life, botanical as well as biological. But think of the thousands who have died in tsunamis. So are we going to say let's get rid of water because people die in tsunamis?
No.
No. So what I'm saying is that we're looking at the two sides of the same coin, and you cannot get rid of the coin. The coin is necessary. The coin is necessary, but it has two sides. What are you going to do? Remove one side? You ever seen something that's one-dimensional?
No. Try something else. If you remove it, you have to replace it with something. You just don't remove it.
What are you going to replace it with? What are you going to replace it with?
If you introduce some new plans to your company to make a company grow and to be up to date with in terms of what goes on in the 21st century, you can't introduce a plan that will make you lose $150,000, but it only brings in $140,000.
George, you are too material. You cannot look at something like religion and talk materialism. It is not. What are you going to replace it by? If you talk about a plant that you've got where it's going to bring in going to produce something, and that particular engine is failing, you change that and you get another engine. How can you do that with something like religion, which is a mind thing? How can you get that? If we believe that there is a God, you cannot dismiss religion, because that's your only source of connection with God. You are accepting that there's a God of this universe and tell me that you are scrapping religion. How can you do that?
Because religion is not your only source for God. It is not your only source. In fact, the more people who had the most problem with Paul, and Paul had the most problem with religion. The same thing with Christ. All of the great prophets and the men of God throughout biblical time, the people that they had the most problem with was those religious people.
All right, but what I'm saying about Paul was religious. If it hadn't been for religion, would Paul be in connection with God?
Paul was religious, but he had also had a spiritual connection with God, which other religious people that he had problem with did not have.
You cannot be spiritual without a facet of religion. It all depends on how people use religion and for what reason they use it. Nothing is more beneficial than a car. But the same car can overturn and kill you and kill others. Are you going to get rid of cars because people have died?
I know I can't disagree with that point. It's what you use it for. But I am saying to you that the evidence presented to us in the world today have shown us religion has not used in the way it's supposed to be used.
Right, but look, it has not been used. So what has not been used? Religion. We are talking tonight about religion. We are not talking about the abuse of it. We are talking about religion.
No, of course we are talking about the abuse of it. We are talking because we said, is it a source of peace or conflict? And for we to show that it is a source of conflict, we have to talk about the abuse of it.
It is a source of both. You've got evidence that it is a source of both. We see the wars from way back with the Crusaders. We see the wars that you've had with religion. So yes, religion can be a dangerous implement. We've also seen the peace and tranquility of those people who came together. The saints who things, and we've seen where it had its values as well.
You said it can't. No, you said it can't be, but I think it has been. It has been a source of conflict and confusion. But let's look at what we want to do right tonight because time is running. Let's go to the emails again, and we should take a break after those emails.
Let me see what we've got here. Uh, oh, oh, we got something here from Carolyn. Oh, this is quite a long one. Huh? This is quite a long one. Carolyn, thank you for calling. Religious morality is also used to justify political reasoning and supremacy. In the U.S., the First Amendment draws a clear separation between church and state, between religion and politics. Yet, every presidential candidate is judged by his or her religious beliefs, as seen in the attempt to prove that President Obama is a Muslim, more so because his name is Barack Hussein Obama, which generate hate and fear. Prospective Republican candidates use their Christian beliefs as a form of qualification and go to great lengths to show that a good Christian is a Republican, thereby implying that Democrats are not. We remember watching Bill Maher during George W. Bush's era, interviewing a Kansas couple being evicted from their home due to spiraling mortgage costs. As the movers were carrying out their furniture around them, Maher looked puzzled and asked why they had voted Republican. They replied, because we are Christians. We often hear somewhat extreme candidates constantly pushing their religious beliefs into the political arena with outrageous statements like, the hurricane and earthquake happened as God is punishing us, whether it's because of gay marriage, abortion, or any number of reasons that support their ideology. This is taking religion into realms that are not religious. When religion is used to validate killing because there is a difference of opinion, then it has gone beyond having a moral compass to imposing belief and power over another. We see this with the killing of abortion clinic staff, all in the name of saving a fetus, despite the pregnancy being caused by rape or incest or threatening the mother's life. Yet, how many who are trying to stop abortion are also willing to adopt an unwanted baby?